Brunch, a taste of Tobago. I am so happy. I'm feeling your vibration, I'm feeling that you're still with us. And I want to thank you so much for being a part of Brunch today. It's Friday. It's a wonderful Friday on the island of Tobago. And I know I have the privilege of speaking with Brittany Pope. Now, what Britney is doing, the strides that she's making, is something that is very much worth mentioning, and I'm so honored and privileged to have her. Her project, Invest in You, Young Women's Outreach. And guys, this is something that is definitely positive, and we want to highlight Britney and her efforts this morning. So let me welcome Britney to Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Good morning, and it is a pleasure
Good
sitting here
morning.
speaking with you. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm a bit um, scared, excited because it's about 15 days until our initiative, Invest in Youth. But I'm taking each day as, a new day towards the final day. So it's just a lot of preparation, but I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
How did this initiative come about? Where did it start for you, Brittany?
Okay, so Invest in You, Young Women Outreach, we are a non-profit organization that would have started actually in the pandemic. And it's something I always wanted to do in the sense of support, empower, motivate, and inspire persons. But given the pandemic, I was able to get the time to really take my ideas from my head and actually make it into something physical. And that's how Invest in You Young Women Outreach came about. It was me trying, how do I, in everything that I do, give back and inspire and support persons that probably are going through challenges that I would have went through, coming from being a teen mom. And with that, over the years, we would have done different initiatives. So, for instance, we would have had COVID relief for mothers specifically, where we were giving household supplies, food assistance for persons who would have lost their jobs during the pandemic. And over the years, we'd have done different initiatives. I'm just naming one. But particularly this year, we are more focused on the youth and in the sense of business. Coming out from the pandemic as well, a lot of persons would have started businesses, but they don't have the information on how to register, how to start, where to go to, who to go to. So we wanted to create an initiative where you can find all that information in one space.
It's amazing. It's something that sometimes I can't even find the words to really describe how amazing initiatives such as these are. I love the fact that you seek to, empower. It's such an important part of life, that empowerment, that type of camaraderie, and having a platform where you can speak, where you can be comfortable. I know that there are so many instances where you have homes that are not very peaceful to live in. The pandemic, just the other day, we were having a discussion about, some of the ills that came about with the pandemic. So we had a rise in mental health issues and a rise in molestation, and these serious conversations needed to, we needed to revisit them. So when I heard about your outreach, investing in you, it's something that really resonated with me because I love that kind of initiative. Did you always want to be that type of person? Did you always have that philanthropic kind of outlook on life, like always wanting to help, always wanting to provide, relief, just kindness and love? Did you always have that passion?
I always did have that passion. I know a lot of us talk about purpose. What is my purpose? What is your purpose? From since I was a young age, I always felt as if my one of my main purposes is to help or to become a support for someone else. And as a teenager, I always knew it back then when I was younger, but as a teenager, you're going through life and you're going through challenges. And I would have been faced with one of the biggest challenges, that is becoming a mom at 16 and going through that phase of so much happening at the time and understanding the importance of support. It really sparked that ignition back into me that, okay, I knew it when I was younger, but maybe this that happened to me, I could use my story to impart, to motivate, or to even inspire someone that, okay, maybe you would have stumbled along the way, but if it is, you can rise up. If it is, you can have the mindset that, okay, this is not the end for me. If I could inspire someone to think like that and elevate the way that I did, then I think it really would fulfill my purpose in life.
So let's touch on just really briefly. Let's touch on becoming a mom at 16. Did you experience, if we had to scale what your experiences would have been, were they more on the positive side or were they more on the negative side? What would you say to that?
I would say it depends on how you, the person that is going through, look at it. For me,
Mm-hmm.
at the time, I was thinking everything that happened was negative because you have that stigma where, okay, you're in school. Actually, I would have graduated my with my CSEC subjects. However, I started A levels and would have had to come out of A levels. So there was so much happening that were negative. I would say yes, you can consider them as negative. Also being a single parent as well at 16 and having to go through life a little more fast paced than an actual teenager. So yes, it was negative, but for me, looking back now, I could say it worked in my favor. And if had not that happened, I wouldn't have developed the characteristics that I have now. As I said, I would have known my purpose a little bit when I was younger, but that happened really booted, okay, this is maybe what I was made for, to help and to be a trailblazer.
How do we reach you, Brittany? I know there are so many people who are looking on and they want to be a part of what you're doing. How do we reach you? Your social tags or telephone contacts? How do we reach you? Are you there?
Yes.
Right. You heard the
The
question?
technical. Yes. How do you reach me in terms of the social platforms?
Yes, social platforms.
Okay, so if you're looking at my nonprofit organization that is Invest in You, you can simply search start to the number two, Invest in You, and you'll find us on Instagram and Facebook. If you're searching for me personally, my name on Instagram, it's Brittany Pope. That's BritneyPope underscore, and you'll find me there as well. Or simply search Brittany Pope.
So let's talk a bit about the event itself. Let's delve in to the your actual events because that's really the meat of what we want to find out. So I'm gonna leave the floor open. You go, you do your thing. Tell us about your event.
Well, again, I just want to acknowledge and really thank you all for giving platform to share on what we are doing. Because there's so much happening. I think there's so many organizations that are doing so much, but it's really enlightening when you have persons that can really give you the platform to share on what you're doing. So we at Invest in You Young Women Outreach, we are hosting an entrepreneurial your hall should go on us in Trinidad, and it's starting from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are dedicating this entire day to give you the information, provide you with the opportunities that you can embark on as an entrepreneur. It doesn't mean that you already have a bit, mean that you are thinking about starting a business or maybe continuing school towards having your own business. This is an event for anyone between the ages of 16 to 35. And even if you're over 35, you can still come and really benefit from what we have to offer. So we have organizers that have partnered with us that will be business registration, marketing and branding, also talking about social media, manage your content. How do you go about creating your own website? How do you utilize online platforms? We also be having a workshop that is included where you'd be actually learning how to do your business planning. How do you take your ideas from just in your mind and actually make it into reality? We also have a conflict resolution workshop where you'll be understanding how to deal with conflict as an entrepreneur. It's something I think that persons don't really dive into much, and it's something that's really necessary because you're always interacting with clients. So having that conflict resolution workshop, I think it's ideal as an entrepreneur. And also to add, we have been asking budget your money, manage your resource, and even learning the opportunities for funding and grants and loans. So I'm just naming off really one day with various opportunities. And I really like, if you can, it's at $150. It's an investment in you. You are your biggest investment.
I love that tagline. You are your biggest investment. And again, I want to thank you so much for this event. It's definitely inspiring, it's definitely empowering. But what would you say, Brittany, to viewers who are watching? What would you tell us today if you had to leave a positive message? What would you say?
I would say take the risk because coming from I'm only 23 and I have my business, I have um, the organization, I'm also a worker, and I'm doing so much, and I'm also a mom. A lot of times you want to do a lot of stuff, want to embark on opportunities. However, you're thinking, okay, maybe this is not the right time. Maybe what would other people say? Maybe I'm too young. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe my opportunity has passed. But I would say to you, take the risk because ultimately it will pay off. But you take off faith, whether you believe in you only, or if you're not getting that support, still just take the. It will be worth it in the end, especially if it's something that you want to do.
I can't even say anything after that because you said it so well. It's something that is so, so positive, and I have to touch on your positivity because I feel your vibration. And I know that this is something that you actually love and it's something that you actually want to do. All right. So we're getting ready to wrap. But before we do that, um, trivia question. I really want somebody to get this answer. Let me mention the trivia question again. How did Sandy Point, located in Crown Point, get its name? How did Sandy Point, located in Crown Point, get its name? All right, so get to typing, guys. We want to thank Brittany so much. Thank you for your love for what you do. Thank you for your initiative. And from our family to yours, we wish you nothing but peace, love, and light, and success in whatever you endeavor to do. Continue to have your loving nature and your kindness. The world really needs it. And you are definitely heading in the right direction. So, you know what, guys? Let's take a break and we're going to be right back with more brunch, a taste of Tobago.